Walt Disney Company has responded to a lawsuit from a guest who claims that they tripped on Main Street, USA. Now, Disney doesn't usually take kindly to guests who try to sue them like this. Hopefully, this person never had a Disney Plus account, and this lawsuit will be able to move forward if, in actuality, there is some validity to it. Let's talk about it today here on That Park Place. All right, guys, we see it right here from Mickey Visit by Lindsay Brookshire. It says Disney World has responded to guest tripping injury on Main Street, USA. Let's see what it has to say. Disney
Marvin, can I be abrasive and interject just real quick a little line here that I've heard that's going through my head, a little ditty, if you will.
Sure.
I'm tripping right down the middle of Main Street, USA. Take it away.
I have turned my ankle before in the grooves for the trolley.
Well, let me tell you, we're going to find out who you need to be calling, Marv. 1-888-SUIT. No, we can't tell you that. Don't do that. Go ahead, Marv.
Disney has responded to a lawsuit filed in late December by a woman who alleges she tripped over a trolley track and is seeking damages from the company. The lawsuit attracted attention since it centers on the park's iconic trolley tracks that many guests are familiar with. And let's see what happens. A woman suing. The lawsuit against Walt Disney Parks and Resorts was filed on December 22nd in the Florida Circuit Court in Orange County, Florida. Rhonda Smith of Frankfort, Kentucky, filed a lawsuit for.
What are you saying about Kentuckians there, Marv? Look, he switched into that. He does the same.
I'm very empathetic.
He does the same thing when we do Jersey. He suddenly starts speaking with a Jersey accent that he never had before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, never. It's completely put on. Filed a lawsuit for $50,000 claiming that the trolley tracks do not adequately have marked steel rails and flangeways near a castle attraction.
Can't tell how many times I've thought we need more flangeways. We got to get more flangeways in this theme park.
This caused her to trip and fall, resulting in, quote, permanent injuries and substantial medical expenses.
There's a random video of oranges in case you want those. I don't know what that would do for us, but.
In her complaint, she alleged that Disney failed to uphold its responsibility to maintain reasonably safe walkways for guests. She claimed that the company allowed hazardous conditions, including uneven surfaces and gaps that could pose a tripping risk, to remain in place. The filing also asserted that Disney did not conduct adequate inspections, correct the alleged dangers in a timely manner, or provide sufficient warnings about the condition. She further alleged that the incident resulted in lasting injuries. She claimed she suffered permanent physical harm, ongoing pain, emotional distress, disability, reduced enjoyment of daily life, and a worsening of a pre-existing medical condition, along with other related damages. So now Disney's response, well, let's see what they had to say. Disney has responded. In response, it characterizes the trolley tracks as open and obvious. Essentially, it called this lady an idiot, and argues that plaintiff Rhonda Smith bears the responsibility for the incident. The company contends that Smith owed a duty to use reasonable care for her own safety, and that she breached her duty by failing to pay adequate attention to her surroundings. Wow, so Disney is really going at this lady. They further maintain the condition described in the complaint was plainly visible and therefore does not require additional warnings. According to the filing, because the tracks were open and obvious, Walt Disney World has no obligation to provide signage or further notice to guests about their presence. The company has formally requested that a judge decide the matter. Court records indicate that the current case management schedule lists a trial date of November 22nd, 2027 at the Orange County Courthouse. This clearly shows us that Disney is 100% certain that they are in the right here, because otherwise they're not letting this go to court.
Well, they would have used Disney Plus as a reason to bypass all of this had it been meritorious. But I'll say this, Marv. So a few months ago, we had the report of the lady who went down the Humunga Cowabunga slide at Typhoon Lagoon, and there were a lot of people out there who were kind of laughing at her, and because the headlines came out and called it a wedgie accident and all this kind of stuff. And we didn't go along with that. We covered that seriously. And the reason was because we knew that lady was sitting in a pool of her own blood and had internal injuries. And it was really bad. She had to be taken by the ambulance from Typhoon Lagoon. And then Disney allegedly tried to strong arm her out of using or out of seeking legal remedy with them, by forcing her to put out very private images of her very private areas injured that no woman would want to do. So there are times when it sounds funny and we don't jump into that funny place, and it's really a serious issue and Disney needs to do the right thing. In this case, I could find some ways that the trolley tracks could be a problem. If it was somebody, for example, who was visually impaired, and they twisted up, or maybe a parade float was coming, and you can come up with some millions of people walk down Main Street USA in a year, millions. So you got to really stretch it. And these tracks are so teeny tiny on purpose so that even your small toe really could not fit into them. I mean, they've specially designed this. So I've done this before, actually. It's really hard to even get a stroller wheel to be affected by these. Marvin, you said you tripped into it, and I understand that there are places where it can happen.
Yeah, there are larger grooves over by the Emporium. And that's kind of where I turn my ankle in that, but everyone does.
Yeah. But so is it possible that she, went into it with a strange angle? Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. So we don't want to disparage the lady. On the other hand, here's the problem with it. If Disney were to pay $50,000 for, stepping into a groove that, well, what would they have to do then? Anywhere there's a groove, anywhere there's any kind of change in elevation for pavement, I'm talking about like an inch, they would have to put signage there or be prepared to have the precedent of getting sued again over stuff like this. So Disney really can't. I mean, we don't defend Disney unless we, have to, or it's the right thing to do. We try to play the right side of this. Disney really can't give in on this one, because if the tiny itsy bitsy groove on the trolley track is enough to get you sued for $50,000, almost anything, like we're going to put signage up for, like the concrete that's underneath these rails, maybe you stubbed your toe and maybe it caused lasting damage. I'm not trying to be frivolous, make fun of the lady, but I mean, the number of lawsuits that would have precedent then to succeed against them would be vast and all consuming.
Yeah. The fact that they are willing to take it to trial, though, it sounds like this is just kind of a common sense case. MJ, have you ever tripped? You walk right down the middle of Main Street USA quite a bit. Have you ever tripped on these tracks?
No, I'm always watching where I walk. For the most part, if I'm not rolling, you guys know I roll occasionally. If I need to, I have my I'm not ashamed. I have a wheelchair that I use occasionally. If I need it, depending on the type of day I'm having. So we're just very careful. We watch where we're going, and everyone should watch where they're walking. If it's a new guest and they've never been there and they don't know that there's a system, tracks with the trolley, I can understand for the most part. But if you're a regular guest, I don't know, it's just common sense. No matter where you go in this beautiful world that we live in, watch where you're going, watch your step.
You can see the grooves down there, MJ. I mean, they're teeny weeny, itsy bitsy. There is a better argument for a lawsuit. Okay. No legal expert here, but we've seen these things happen. There's a better legal argument that you could trip over the curb and fall and do permanent damage than your foot could get in one of those grooves. I mean, it's really difficult to do and cause permanent damage.
Yeah. And even more so if it's a first time visit for you, you definitely want to look where you're watching, because you're not familiar with the grounds, right? But some people just assume, oh, I'm in the Magic Kingdom, it's flawless, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, well, think again. You better watch where you're going.
Erica, you could grab one of those rose bushes and draw blood in your hand and get the right kind of lawyer and make stuff happen, right?
Man, I wish you hadn't said that, because there is no. I actually fell into a rose bush as a child.
Oh no, Erica! Erica, the cosmos have caused us to have this conversation right now. Let's go back and revisit.
You just have no idea.
She's hated roses ever since. Do not get this lady a rose. She wants a gardenia. She wants she wants a daisy, not a rose.
Every rose has its thorn, and Erica found every single one of them.
I've never forgotten that incident. But I mean, look, it's common sense, and I hope this lady doesn't travel to Europe, because there is natural cobblestone everywhere. Anywhere you go out here, it's uneven land. So, and it's a theme park. We're in the information era. I'm sure she's watched vloggers and live streamers in the parks before her trip. Yeah, it's just common sense. I'm on Disney's side on this one. Raf actually incurred a stress fracture on his front, tibia at Epcot from walking at an incline, and it was just from the stress. but you didn't see us suing Disney for having to walk on an incline, and.
It's novel, but I will leave this out there. The caveat. Everybody ready for the caveat? There's always a chance. There's always a chance that something we don't know about is at play, and we're going to be careful and say, we'll see how it plays out. But if it's just she somehow got her, the edge of her foot into the trolley tracks and, twisted her ankle a little bit, that's how it's being read to us. If that's the case, there's not much of a case here. But if there's some sort of bizarre situation scenario where, hey, the pavement was broken and they had, tape around it, but they took tape away while they were working on it, and third shift, didn't fix it, and she put her foot there. There's always a chance of this stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I had a point that I was about to make, and then I just completely lost it. So
you're going to talk about the time that the shark bit your leg off on the Jaws attraction in Universal, and how you didn't sue, not for a second.
But I was going to talk about a Universal thing. Now, thank you, Pro. That just jogged my memory. Pro, do you remember the first week that I had taken the job at that park place? I was getting B-roll around Christmas time in Universal, and I'm walking and filming the Christmas tree, and I walk right off the curb and eat it.
Totally.
I was
seriously injured.
I had to go to the first aid area because I was bleeding from the legs. And we have that footage somewhere. I have to dig it out because it is just like, boom, I go down.
Can I tell, Marv, can I tell a funny story that's going to be just a little bit embarrassing about you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a little bit. The first time that Marv, the first week that he was hired to be the editor-in-chief of that park place and start reporting from the parks and all that, he told me, Pro, this is a dream come true for me. I've always wanted to get to a job where I'm literally in the parks. And Marvin was telling me all the places he's going to go to work, I'm going to go and I'm going to get pictures of this and that, and we'll be the first on the scene. And I've figured out every single park where I can go with my laptop and my equipment and my, video stuff. And he's got it all planned out, and he's a genius. And literally within days, I get the call, hey, Pro, I ate it, man. I completely ate it. Nothing was destroyed, but I might be injured for a long time, and I don't know if I can go back. It was like within the first few days, I said, Marv, what happened? And yep, looking through the video camera and did not see the change in elevation, and boom, went the Marv.
Yeah. I was limping for a couple weeks after that. It was pretty bad.
Ate it hard.
My knee is still kind of a little screwed up from it.
Wonder if it's too late, Marv. Those billboards say you can call those guys, and we wouldn't do that to Universal or Disney, would we? We would not do that. No.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.